Speech 10, Surface Water Management, Reticular Canal System for Surface Water Management. Today's topic is, are we going away from our physiology in this environment? Respected leaders, senior citizens, and dear friends, I am Dr. Shivu, pediatrician from Mysore, Karnataka State, India. My phone numbers are +91 94484 77380 +91 789-250-1891. My mail is shivup.183@gmail.com. Visit www.slideshare.net bar Dr. Shivu for my articles on our life, on this world, and on environment. This is my 10th published speech. In this, we will talk about how our physiology is getting disturbed along with the changes happening in this environment, and how we are all moving towards the end of life in this biosphere without our knowledge. Before starting our talk, let us be familiar with some of the terminologies used here. Environment. The surroundings or conditions in which a person, animal, or a plant lives or operates. Descending from the Middle French preposition environ, meaning around. The most basic meaning of environment is that which surrounds. Physiology. A branch of biology that deals with the functions and activities of life or of living matter, such as organs, tissues, or cells, and its physical and chemical phenomenon involved. The Latin root physio means physical. Human physiology deals with everything that keeps humans alive and working. Physiology specialities do the same for other animals and for plants. Pathology. The science of the causes and effects of diseases. The term pathology comes from the ancient Greek roots of pathos, meaning experience or sufferings, and logia means study of. Chemistry. The branch of science concerned with the substances of which matter is composed, the investigations of their properties and reactions, and the use of such reactions to form new substances. The word chemistry derives from the word alchemy, which is found in various forms in European language. Alchemy derives from the Arabic word chemia or alchemia. Egyptian name Chem or Cheme, meaning blackness, that is the rich dark soil of the Nile River Valley. It is also possible that alchemia meaning cast together. However, the ultimate origin of the word is uncertain. Biochemistry. The term biochemistry is derived from bio meaning life and chemistry meaning the study of chemical compounds, reactions, etc. occurring in the living organisms. Normal physiology. There is normal physiology or the physical and chemical activities happening in the animals and plants on this earth that makes the environment suitable for the life of both animals and plants. They are the rain, flow of water on the surface, percolation, flow of water in the underground, table, evaporation, formation of clouds, raining, water reaching the lowermost level of the land, formation of huge mass of water rich in electrolytes and minerals as sea, water accumulating at the top of the lands and at the poles as huge mass of water as ice, thus maintaining the optimum level of the sea and make the sea not to rise. Water is the life fluid of both animals and plants. All this comes under water cycle. Maintaining region specific normal temperature in the environment by various processes and thus maintaining the sea level and ice mass equilibrium, liberation of oxygen, taking up of carbon dioxide, maintaining the levels of various gases by the process of diffusion. Optimum temperature is the need to maintain normal metabolism, growth, development, repair of the cells or tissues, equilibrium in the environment. All this comes under air cycle. Birth, life, death of all living organisms, of the flora and fauna. All this comes under life cycle. Now we will go to the topic proper, that is why and how aging is happening in animals and plants. All living organisms has a lifespan, including humans. Aging is the process of cellular damage and functional deterioration of the cells in spite of repeated damage and repair of the components of the cell by the cell itself, called cellular repair. Repaired cells become scarred cells, aged cells with altered function as compared to the normal undamaged cells. Damage to the cell components can occur maybe because of physical, chemical, radiational trauma, accumulation of excess of waste products of the metabolism due to excessive work, exhaustion, lack of sleep or rest, inborn errors of metabolism, improper nutrition or hydration, impaired excretion of waste products from the lungs, kidneys, liver, skin, gastrointestinal system, exposure to toxins, poisons like pesticides, insecticides, and so on. These can happen through the air, water, food we consume. Healing or the repair of the damaged tissue is sometimes beneficial and sometimes injurious, but both the body does this work of healing with the intention of doing good. Usually, the injured cells or tissues gets repaired with extra support by the deposition of extra supportive cell or by the fibrous tissue. If the skin gets injured in the form of abrasion or laceration or burns or by any means like physical or chemical or radiational or by heat, it heals with scar. See the picture, a normal scar became like this after 21 years. So this is the scar. So we can see, no, this is the scar. Or a hypertrophied scar. So this is the hypertrophied scar in the skin. So which is elevating from the level of the skin. Or a keloid. So this is the keloid, which is very much elevated from the surface of the skin. So this we have seen or experienced. Lot of space may be available for the skin to heal with extra tissues at the site of damage. This tissue can extend outside the surface of the original skin. Accommodation of this healed extra skin tissue may not cause any disturbances to the underlying structure except for the loss of originality, stretchability, restriction of movements if it is on the joints. If the same type of injury occurs to the endothelium of a blood vessel, maybe a medium or small sized blood vessel, by the molecules of physical or chemical circulating particulate matters of the size of few nanometers, or by various microbiological or chemical or poisonous or toxic compounds which we might have inhaled or ingested or absorbed through direct contact, may injure the endothelium of the blood vessel and can initiate the process of healing at the site of injury, maybe in the form of atherosclerosis. See here what we are seeing, it's a normal artery with the outermost layer of the artery, tunica adventitia. The middle layer is the tunica media, as subintimal layer just beneath the tunica intima, and the innermost layer is the tunica intima, and the inner part is covered with the endothelium. Where there was some injury, or we may not be knowing the cause, why, how and why it had happened. So it forms a fatty streak, a scar-like tissue. and a mature plaques forms after some time. That will be covered with a there is a formation of fibrous cap and accumulation of smooth muscle cells in this part, and there is beneath there is accumulation of foam cells, cholesterol and other lipids, and thus it goes on accumulating, and the tissue pressure inside this part increases, and one day it ruptures. So this is a ruptured plaque, or it's an unstable plaque with thrombus formation. Why thrombus occurs? See, when there is damage to the endothelium, that part will be repaired or will be covered by the clot, and that's how a thrombus is formed at the site of ruptured plaque. So this is in the vertical section. The tragedy here is the healing tissue in such a place of body occupies a space for the flow of blood. See, what we have to understand is, see, this is keloid. Any amount of space it is occupying, it is outside the body. It is becoming outside the body. Whereas here, see, it is occupying the lumen of the blood vessel. Thus, the flow of blood in the narrow space decreases in this instance, and sometimes it may be completely blocked in this instance, where both plaque is also there, and the ruptured plaque is also covered with with the formation of thrombus. There may be complete cessation of flow of blood in this part. So if you see the same thing in the transverse section, so this is the normal artery. There is some injury causing substance which has caused injury to the endothelium. So the endothelium started having endothelial dysfunction. At that site there is fatty streak formation, and then there is deposition of foam cells, then cholesterol and other lipids, okay, at that site, and which is covered by a fibrous cap, and beneath that there is a smooth muscle. So, and thus a stable fibrous plaque is formed. At some time, when the tissue pressure inside, as more and more deposition happens, it may rupture. So to cover this ruptured part, a clot is formed over which, so, and thus it can almost it can completely block the flow of blood at this point. Thus the tissue distal to the site of obstruction or block will not be getting the optimum flow of blood. In other words, the supply of required oxygen and nutrition to the tissues and elimination of waste products of metabolism from the tissues will not be normal. Thus, the tissue of the body goes for derangement in metabolism, tissue death due to ischemia, and then necrosis. That is, there is a death of tissues of the territory of that blood vessel which got injured by the injury causing physical or chemical molecule, and further damage happened by lack of blood supply because of the process of healing of the wall of the blood vessel occupies the lumen of the blood vessel, making the lumen narrow and decreasing or obstructing the blood supply to its own tissue. Such changes in the body may become apparent early in some of the organs or tissues. For example, some injury causing substance or toxin causing damage to the endothelium of the coronary arteries, that is the blood vessels of the heart muscle, the damaged site healing with atherosclerosis, leading to narrow lumen of the coronary vessel, leading to decreased blood supply, that is the supply of oxygen and nutrients when the heart needs, okay, so leads to myocardial infarction, or in common words it is called heart attack, and sometimes death because of this. So this is the heart attack. So there is an atheromatous plaque, okay, which might have ruptured, and thus at that site the blood clot is formed, and it's the artery, and this is the cholesterol deposition in the plaque. So these are the coronary vessels, okay. So there is the block to the blood supply to the artery which is supplying this area, and thus this part of the cardiac muscle, heart muscle, is not getting its blood supply, and thus it is dying. So it's the dying heart muscle. And you can also see these are the healthy heart muscles. Such type of damage are going to be accelerated by damage causing elements which enters the body through air, water, food, like poisonous insecticides, pesticides, artificial manures, chemicals, smoke, emission, harmful gases, pathogens, toxins, excess or deficient nutrition, acute overuse or chronic underuse of the tissue, overwork or underwork, lack of sleep or rest, acute or chronic physical trauma to the tissues or organs, and so on. So to prevent such type of damage, so we sometimes that narrowed lumen we will be expanding, dilating, so that the flow of blood in that area becomes normal. So this procedure is called balloon angioplasty and stents. So very frequently we are doing this type of procedure for those patients with blocked arteries. So this is the artery. It's a deflated balloon, and there is a plaque, atheromatous plaque, this yellow color one, and it's a closed stent on the deflated balloon. So when we inflate the balloon, the stent gets expanded. It's an expanded stent. So when once the stent is expanded, okay, then we will be removing the catheter. So only the stent remains at the site of plaque formation. So and thus this artery becomes stent woodened artery, and the plaques gets compressed to the sides, and the lumen becomes big. So there is increased flow of blood through the narrowed blood vessel which was before putting the stent. So the lumen becomes widened, and thus there is increased blood flow through that. So the thing is, now we will come, what is the relation between all these things and the environment? See, we can extrapolate the inferences by looking at the various stentings done in the past for the blood vessels of various organs in the human body, like heart, brain, urinary system, and so on. That is, when we look into the entire scenario, like the site of block, the extent of block, the layers of the blood vessels involved, the type of blood vessels involved in the pathology, and analyze the data, then we get lots of doubts regarding the pathogenesis of these problems, like why such type of lesions in the walls of the blood vessels happens at certain places but not uniformly and simultaneously throughout the length of the blood vessel. Okay, next, why such type of endothelial injury and subsequent pathogenesis happens to anyone at any age but not to all of the same age with similar biochemical parameters. Keeping the body or the muscle fit, does it mean there is no injury is going to happen to the endothelium of the blood vessel and subsequent consequences? Which is the substance which pricks or injures or damages the endothelium of the blood vessel, leading to series of changes like endothelial dysfunction, white blood cell infiltration, initiation of inflammation, the process of formation of fatty streak, fibrous cap over it, layer of smooth muscles in between, deposition of foam cell, cholesterol and other lipids beneath that site, which is getting ruptured with increased deposition and increase in the tissue pressure, the clotting mechanism in the blood trying to cover that ruptured site with clot or thrombus formation, thus blocking the blood flow to the distally situated its own tissue from already narrowed blood vessel. Most of these mechanisms present in our body are the protective mechanisms to prevent the excess loss of blood through the damaged tissue and to repair the damaged tissue. It is true in all the scenarios. Is it true in all the scenarios? Is the question to be evaluated. Why such type of mechanism in our body is beneficial at certain places and both beneficial and harmful at certain places? Please note, if there is a small clot formation not occupying the more lumen of the blood vessel to cover the ruptured site of atheroma in order to avoid atheromatous tissue getting dislodged and causing embolism may be beneficial. Please note, this is not same in all the scenario. A larger clot in a narrow vessel can stop the blood supply completely to the distal tissue and can lead to sudden death. The next question is whether cholesterol, fat cells, fibroblasts are the culprits for causing damage to the endothelium, or whether they are involved only in the work of repairing the damaged endothelium, and the intima of the blood vessel needs to be understood. If the cholesterol, fat cell, fibroblasts are the culprits for causing damage to the endothelium, then why all the blood vessels in the body are not getting the injury uniformly throughout their length and simultaneously, as we see the block only at certain places? What we need to note is cholesterol and other lipids are circulating in the circulatory system from the time of angiogenesis and all across the body. Why all the people are not getting the atheromatous plaques in their blood vessel with the same values of cholesterol or lipid profile, fat cells, fibroblasts, considering the same age and lifestyle? If cholesterol, fat cells, fibroblasts are involved only in the process of repair but not in the process of damaging the endothelium and the intima of the blood vessel, then which other molecule is responsible for causing the damage and, more importantly, for initiating the process of atherosclerosis? Why we use the drugs like statins, that is cholesterol lowering drugs, and the antiplatelet drugs in the management of vascular disease? Is it to decrease the process of repair or clot formation at the reconstruction site of the damaged endothelium and the intima of the blood vessel, or to prevent the injury at the new site in the blood vessel? Who does the damage to the endothelium of the blood vessel for causing endothelial dysfunction, white blood cell infiltration, initiation of inflammation and subsequent pathology like fatty streak formation progressing to atherosclerotic plaque? From where this injury causing substance enters to our body? How to identify this injury causing substance? How to avoid consuming this injury causing substance to avoid damage at the cellular level, early aging and early death are the subjects to be researched. On that we need to do the research. Okay. We may be thinking poisons like insecticide, pesticides and the other chemicals kill only the insects and pests and it will not kill humans. But these chemicals may just touch or attach or prick or injure the endothelium. The rest will be done by our own body itself. And we think the air, water, food that we breathe, drink, eat are clean without any poisons. For those organisms who have a nervous system or the brain and the mind in it, the damage can also occur through acute or chronic traumatic thoughts caused by mental trauma or insult or shock and so on. Injury causing events in life through the mind are loss in life, insults from the contacts, wrong perceptions and self-induced traumatic thoughts, lack of entertainment, lack of sleep, excess of sleep, lack of support from the contacts, lack of attachment from the contacts, lack of love from the contacts, lack of affection from the contacts, loneliness and so on. Can lead to autonomic disturbances and can manifest like anxiety disorders, depression, increased heart rate and respiratory rate, sweating, apathy, slowness in work, hypertension, urgency and increase in the frequency of urination and defecation, unable to finish the work that he was doing earlier, frequent falls and injuries, forgetfulness and so on. All these things are happening because of the release of certain neurotransmitters and hormones. Stress and anxiety in the mind can lead to many somatic diseases of the body, and they are prone for frequent infections due to alterations in the immunology of the body. The next thing is early aging through lifestyle. We do not sleep as per the physiological needs of our body. As the people are becoming more intelligent, they are sleeping less and less beyond the physiological point of tolerance by the body due to various reasons. Humans are the experts in converting night into day and vice versa. They started decreasing their sleep hours beyond the physiological limits in the names of studies for or exams, duty, sincerity, competition, earning, business, property making, wealth assimilation, and so on. Too much of sleep beyond the physiological limits is also injurious to health, and it may be the sign of many diseases. Humans also invented the medications to prevent the sleep, and they are in demand by some group of people. Less work, more earning, more worries in few scenarios, causing more adrenaline and injury causing hormones or neurotransmitter release, and its effect on the body. More work, less earning, more worries to manage the family economics in majority of the scenarios, causing accumulation of end products of metabolism, physical trauma, and occupational hazards. Waiting day and night for the customers, being awake for majority of the time to get even one customer in the entire day. Thus, the time of the sleep is used in the process of waiting for the customers. Some people of the same profession waiting for the customers and being awake most of the time in the day and night. Some other people of the same profession working day and night, not getting adequate time for sleeping due to the place of work, because of the system influence, or because of the memorandum of understanding between the employee and the employer, thus getting injured by developing micro sleep, exhaustion, cramps, headache, lack of concentration, hypertension, accidents, and so on. Imagine the tragedies that can happen with the micro sleeps if the person is operating machines or driving. Residence and place of work are away, so there is more time spent in travel and thus less time for sleep. Night duties and shift duties are mandatory in many systems of work, even at old age, thus not getting adequate time for sleep. People doing extra duties, overtime duties, continuous night duties, and so on in order to meet the unexpected or expected extra expenses in the life like fee, hostel expenses, hospital expenses, marriages, parties, celebrations, and so on. Night out festivals, prayers, public announcement, pujas with loudspeakers and lightings will make the people to lose their sleep. Over usage of mobiles, laptops, computers, televisions beyond the level of tolerance of the body due to various reasons. In the aim of reaching the target or completing the allotted work in the stipulated time makes us not to sleep. Too much of light or noise or pollution or overcrowding causing poor sleep hygiene leading to lack of sleep and so on. See, are all the various scenarios that made the people not to sleep, and its impact on work, health, economy with the acceleration of the process of aging. Who can give optimum work? Who can give optimum economy? Who can give optimum sleep for all? With more concentration, increased speed of work, increased productivity, positive health is the question. And the answer is, that is you and your acceptance for community cooperative system of work in an organized model village. We do not take rest as per the physiological need of the body. We all know we work, we need to work. To work we need energy, is it not? The word energy in common language is nothing but the adenosine triphosphate in medical language. Metabolism of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats gives the body currency called ATP, for the mind and the muscle to work with liberation of waste products like carbon dioxide, urea, creatinine, and others. The waste products initially accumulates in the cells before it reaches the organs of excretion like lungs, liver, kidneys, and skin. If we have not taken adequate rest previous to the time of work, it leads to incomplete clearance of the waste products of metabolism accumulated in the cell, or if we work more than the rate of clearance of the waste products of metabolism, then there is increased accumulation of these waste products in the cells. There is also exhaustion of products of energy generation in the cells with increased work without rest. All this makes the cell to go for tiredness, and it happens simultaneously in all the cells of the tissues or the muscle which are involved in the work. These changes will be sensed by the nervous system, and the mind feels the tiredness. Rest makes the cells to work less, gives time for the waste products of metabolism to reach the blood and then to the organs of excretion. Rest also makes the cells to get products of energy generation and oxygen and regains its potential. This happens in all our cells, and it is the continuous process. The administration or the employer or the system should know what is the type of work the employee is doing, what is the type of work, by what time the metabolic waste products reaches tiredness level, and by what time the energy products go for depletion in the cell. Accordingly, the time of working, time for food and refreshment should be fixed to get the maximum productivity from their employee. If an employee gets into the trap in a bad institution, or if there is more competition for getting the same job, then the employee tries to tolerate excess work. If the employer is in the mindset of appointing less employee, giving less salary, making the employee to work more without giving optimum time for rest or for food or for refreshment, in order to get more profit, to establish many more similar units, taking the advantage of competition created by excess population for the same job. And if the employer thinks even if the employees become sick, then he can be replaced with another young person from whom more work can be extracted, makes the employee or the people to go for changes of early aging very early. Who can give optimum work? Who can give optimum economy? Who can give optimum rest for all with more concentration, increased speed of work, increased productivity, positive health is the question. And the answer is that is you and your acceptance for community cooperative system of work in an organized model village. We do not smile or laugh as per the physiological need of the body. We see very less people with smile, thus we lose the technique of smile very early. A fetus which does not know anything can smile, that we have captured through 4D ultrasound scan. A newborn smiles several times even though it does not know what is happening around him. But as the age advances, the true smile almost disappears, but varieties of facial expressions appears which can induce the secretion of many harmful hormones and neurotransmitters within the body. Discipline is expected from the time of birth. In school, we need to learn all the things present in the syllabus. Otherwise, both teachers and parents are angry. From there, the child starts losing its smile. We may not get the desired job as per our degree after spending a lot of time and money in the name of studies, where we lose some more smile. We deeply involved in job searching for many years in the precious age of productivity, most of the time. By the time we get some job, we lose some more smile as he might have passed through many greedy people to reach the job, and thus he loses smile and became greedy with fear. Sometimes we lose a decade of life in the process of job searching. Finally, we accept whatever job available for us with whatever working time, with whatever salary, and will continue to work. By the time we enter into the job and start working, continue to work with the difficulty in economics, most of the smile is lost and he retains only greediness, maybe without fear. We feel difficulty in managing the family economics due to salary expense mismatch. Feel difficult to meet unexpected expenses and so on. Thus, we lose most of our smile by the time we settle in our life. How did we settle and where did we settle is the question. Loss in life in any field like business, industry, agriculture, and so on steals the smile from the face. Absence of a true smile on the face with happiness from the soul becomes obvious with age. True smile creates positive energy in the body, makes our body to secrete many hormones and neurotransmitters, which is beneficial to all the organs of our body. Still, we will not be able to retain the true smile which was present in our childhood because of a series of events, and its influence steals our smile without our knowledge. With increase in the population causing increased competition in all the fields, going for uncertainty in sustainability, with the relative increase in the cost of expenses as compared to the income, with absence of faith and mutual respects among the people and professionals, as the time is becoming money for many, as there is no relation between what the people speak and what they do, as the self interest and self development at any cost are becoming the motto by everyone, which is leading to low quality in every work, and frequent repetition of the same work is becoming common by utilizing the resources from the environment. As this process is spreading all across the land and sea, makes no one happy about anyone, makes the smile to disappear from every face as we understand this society more and more. We lose smile when we see our relatives with the disputes about the property. We lose smile when we receive some service as we think it is too costly. We lose smile when we go to some office as we do not get the work done as per our expectations. We lose smile while traveling as the roads we travel are not good. We lose smile when we go to the temple if there are many people in front. Thus, we lose one of the important aspects in our life, the smile, with the age and experience needed to keep us healthy. Now, who can make us work optimally? Who can make us earn optimally? Who can make us to retain the smile of a child throughout the life needed for better concentration, increased speed of work, increased productivity, positive health is the question. And the answer is that is you and your acceptance for community cooperative system of work in an organized model village. We do not breathe as per the physiological needs of the body. We know we inhale 500 ml of air. We also know we exhale 500 ml of air. We know oxygen enters the body in the lungs. We also know carbon dioxide exits from the blood through the lungs. We know if there is less oxygen in the inhaled air, then less oxygen enters the blood in the lungs. We know if there is more carbon dioxide in the inhaled air, then less carbon dioxide exits from the lungs. We know we are destroying more oxygen generating factories like trees, and we are implanting very less plants which will become oxygen generating factories after a few decades if they are alive by that time. We know we are creating excess of carbon dioxide and pollution causing vehicles and factories. We know what are all the pollutants present in the air, how oxygen is decreasing in air, how carbon dioxide is increasing in air, who is responsible for all these things. Still we breathe to be alive. We know our lungs is not designed to manage the pollutants, even though there are series of protective systems present from the point of entry of air, that is from the nose till the end. But there are injury and disease causing particulate matters, chemical substances, microbes, and substances that can bypass all these protective systems present in the respiratory system. That means we are not breathing the air as per our physiological needs. We are not dying suddenly except in few incidences like Bhopal and Vishakhapatnam incidences, as the changes in the air has not yet reached the level of causing the death suddenly, but can lead to easy fatigue due to cellular hypoxia, headache due to hypoxia to the brain, organ damage due to cellular hypoxia, and early aging. Who can make us work optimally without fatigue? Who can make us earn optimally? Who can make us breathe the air with good quality needed for better concentration, increased speed of work, increased productivity, positive health is the question. And the answer is that is you and your acceptance for community cooperative system of work in an organized model village. We do not drink as per the physiological needs of the body. We know that we need 2 to 3 liters of water per day to drink to maintain the normal physiology. We know many a times we drink the volume of liquids that we need, but we do not know whether we drink the liquids with quality needed for the body for its normal physiology. We know that the water we drink should be potable. That means it should not have any microbes and chemicals which disturbs the physiology, and it should contain optimum concentration of minerals for the normal functioning of the body. We also know as we take the water from the deeper layers of the earth, the chemical composition of the water changes and it can injure our body over a period of time. We also know that the surface water in small quantity with more population can contaminate the water, and the microbiology of the water can alter and can cause injury to the body. We also know the poisons like insecticides and pesticides reaches both surface water and underground water, and thus water on which we depend for drinking, domestic and agriculture purpose becomes poisonous. Food also becomes poisonous with water contamination. Presently may not be to the extent of killing humans suddenly, but keep them suffering continuously for a long time before it kills with multi-organ failure. Knowing all these things, we use varieties of techniques to make the water potable at small and large scale, but no method ensures us a completely safe water for our physiology. So, to get the safe drinking water at the site of source, we need to have the surface water as the source of water in all the place where the people live, which is large in quantity, no chance for the pollutants to enter into the surface water. No one uses the poison in any ways, so that there is no chance of poisons getting mixed with the surface water. Developing the system sufficient enough to provide water for drinking, domestic agricultural purposes in such a way where there is no need for depending on the underground water, are the needs to maintain the normal physiology of all the living organisms, including humans, on this earth as it was there few thousand years ago. So, who can make the water like this so that all of us can work optimally without fatigue, earn optimally, and can drink where good quality is ensured for positive health with better concentration, increased speed of work, and increased productivity is the question. And the answer is that is you and your acceptance for community cooperative system of work in an organized model village. We do not eat as per our physiological needs of the body. We know we eat because we need to live. We also know we need to eat to keep up our health. We also know what all we eat may not be needed by our body to keep up the health. Still, we eat many things as per our desire, which may not be required. It's okay to have it if it is not causing burden on the body or on the environment. We know our food decides our health, weight, growth, gastrointestinal functions, and the functions of all the organs. We know our activity also decides the quality and quantity of food needed. We know food can cause disease, can damage the organs if it is not good in terms of nutritive, chemical, and microbiological parameters. We know it is mandatory to eat good, nutritive, hygienic food. We also know food mixed with poisons, toxins, injury causing microbes, chemicals, preservatives can damage our body or can kill the individuals either acutely or chronically. We know what all we eat is not going to be utilized by the body. Many items which is going waste are also required by the gastrointestinal system to function normally. We know what all we eat may not be able to grow by us only, or some of the food items that we grow only for our family in our land may not be without poisons, even if someone is not using the poisons in farming, as the water and the air which comes to the land may contain poison. So ensuring good quality in food where the food is not going to damage the cells or tissues or the organs and prevents the signs of aging coming early, or the need to maintain the normal physiology of all the living organisms, including humans, on this earth as it was there few thousand years ago. Who can make the food like this so that all of us can work optimally without fatigue, earn optimally, and can eat with confidence where good quality in food is ensured for positive health with better concentration, increased speed of work, increased productivity is the question. And the answer is that is you and your acceptance for community cooperative system of work in an organized model village. We do not understand the needs of the mind as per its physiology. We know to maintain happiness and health, it is very much necessary to have good relations with the members of the family, relatives, and friends. Who can make these relationships better with a better time for family and friends, with better understanding without disputes, feeling positive energy in all. The positive energy in mind will make the people to work optimally, get optimum income with optimum sleep, rest, peace, happiness, which leads to better concentration, increased speed of work, increased productivity, positive health. That is, who can make these relationships better is the question. And the answer is that is you and your acceptance for community cooperative system of work in an organized model village. We do not understand the need of the body as per its physiology. Most of us concentrate on getting good job, getting better income because of the influence of this system. Otherwise, the person will land up in crisis, maybe economic crisis as the parents becomes old and if there is no income generating job in hand. With this type of thoughts, we ignore our body needs like sleeping for needed time, having food at appropriate time, getting married at appropriate age, having children at right age, and so on. Not sleeping adequately, not eating right food at right time, not getting married at right age, and not having children at right age will disturb the entire life cycle, like disturbances in health, parents becoming too old by the time child starts earning, and so on. Who can make the society in such a way where we get the education at right age, job at right age, marriage at right age, having children at right age, thus sustain the health and peace in everyone, so that all can work optimally without fatigue, earn optimally, and can lead a good quality life with better concentration, increased speed of work, increased productivity, is the question. And the answer is that is you and your acceptance for community cooperative system of work in an organized model village. What all we have discussed till now are all because of the influence of the present society and the economy as dictated by the present system of work and ownership. By this, both the owners and workers are getting repeated cellular damage and thus repeated repairs by the cells. The repaired cells naturally lose their originality, the potency and the lifespan. Thus there is accelerated process of aging, chronic sufferings, mortality and morbidity. The sad thing is we became more intelligent to reach different planets, dreaming uncertainty without understanding what is happening in this planet Earth and in this world. In the verge of reaching other planets, we have already started losing the planet that we are already having and living through our lifestyle and manipulation that we are doing to this environment which gave us the life. Why can't we understand all these relations and revert back the environment which was there few thousand years ago with good sleep, good food, good housing, better education, job which gives good income and protects this environment, marriage at desired age, children at right age with peace, prosperity, longevity, health in life. The answer to all these things is very simple, that is you and your acceptance for community cooperative system of work in an organized model village. We shall continue the same talk in the next session, where how the process of aging is accelerated by our lifestyle through different system of our body and how we can postpone the changes of aging and live long with health and happiness. Thank you for listening to my 10th speech. I think you got an idea on how changes of aging is happening early in humans due to the lifestyle components like sleep, rest, air we breathe, water we drink, food we eat, relationships with other contacts, respecting our own body parts and its physiology. If you like this, then you please subscribe my channel and share with your friends, relatives and family members till it reaches all the leaders of this world to take necessary measures so that this world remains as it is for n numbers of years. Thanks once again.